Hey, good morning, everybody. It's April. It's a Sunday. No, it's a Saturday. I have no idea. Whatever Saturday comes after April 25th, that's the Saturday it is. But I'm going to be reviewing these Tusk Olympus bags today. I just picked up. Just real quick, the reason why I went with the tan colored pattern, I like the way it kind of matches. The way the light's hitting it is kind of weird, but I like the way it matches my tank bag. There's a few things I just want to get out of the way right away. I'm actually going to compare the Olympus to the Pilot. Now, the Pilot that I have, the Pilot bag that I have, it was an older version. There's a newer version Pilot out. I'll get to that in a second. But I want to talk about some similarities because, you know, you think you're jumping up to a real big bag with the Tusk, but you're actually not. Let me see if I can get this. Hope I stay in frame here. Set my camera down. So one thing I was going to show you is that this is the older version Pilot bag. They do not sell this kind anymore, and I'll tell you what they have to offer. So this is a Tusk Pilot bag. My buddy Greg gave it to me, and I've been loving them. I really like it. Now, both the Pilot and the Olympus are going to have these dry bags for their main compartments. The dry bag is 35 liters. So that goes to show you right there that the main cargo compartments on both of these, you're going to have 35 liters in each bag. If you buy the Olympus brand new, buy them brand new, both these yellow bags will be in one pannier. When I opened them up and opened up the one pannier and they weren't there, kind of freaked, but I opened up the second pannier and they were there. So just know that. The other thing I'm going to tell you, so that's a similarity. One of the differences, if not the major difference, is that the Pilots are not designed or built or sold to bracket metal to metal onto the Tusk panniers, not at all. They're a total soft bag, and it's a strap system that you would have to use to attach it. What I did and what Greg did is that we went out and we bought the frame mount, and I'll probably jump on the other side of the camera to give you a better look, but we actually bought the frame mount, which is similar to what I have on my hard cases. So once you buy the Tusk brackets that go onto the motorcycle itself, you do get a set of their attachment brackets that comes with it. So I had one for my hard cases. I bought a second set for these, but once again, the Pilot is just designed to strap onto the frame or to the Tusk rack system, not to click on with these metals. I added that. The Olympus is different, and that's probably the biggest leap. Let me jump on the other side of the camera and show you, maybe get a better look in case the sun was bleaching it out. So this is what this little framed looking thing will snap on to the Tusk luggage system in the rear, and then this is the one I had on my hard case. That's a jack stand, and those are my tire irons or tire spoons, whatever. I'll get into that later. But what I'm pointing out here is this structure here, this piece of metal comes with it, and it's all set. The Tusk ones, when you buy the Olympus, it's going to be separate with the plate on it, and the recommendation, which I highly recommend, I'm not going to pop them off to show you, but the recommendation, if I can get the camera settled again, the recommendation is that you get the plate, and on the plate on the Olympus, it's a square plate, and the attachment points are two separate brackets. What they want you to do is loosely affix that to the plate, and then from that, put it on your rack system, and then fine tune it to make sure everything's spaced right. I highly recommend it. Don't just torque them down and put them on the bag. Don't do that. You'll never get it on the rack. One other thing I was going to mention, when you open up the plates for the Olympus, it's going to have these little thin pieces of plastic on it. You don't have to take them off, but they're just like this protective sheet of plastic that's on the internal plate inside the Olympus bag plates. So you got to get in there anyways to put the bolts on. I just took them off. There's one on each side. So there's this one, trash, and then there's this one, which is trash. I'll make another recommendation. Don't let my video be the only video you watch when it comes to the Olympus. I'm going to put the Rocky Mountain ATV link on it. They do a very, very good review on it. I mean, it's basically their product. But they don't say everything. And then the instruction manual you'll get is kind of vague too. But let me give you some shortcut answers really quick. So two tools you will need. You want to call it Allen wrench, a hex wrench, whatever you want to call it. It's a number 5. You're going to need a number 5, and you're going to need a 13 millimeter. That's it. Number 5 and a 13 millimeter you're going to need to attach all the hardware. Now, one thing I like with the, I made the jump, and the price point, I think now on Rocky Mountain ATV, I'm right by the airport. But on Rocky Mountain ATV, like last week there were $460 for the set. Now they're like $560, just a couple of days later. Amazon, you can look at them about $400, but Amazon, I didn't find the tan pattern. What I ended up doing, I found a seller in Utah, brand new. They're a motocross place, and I got my set for $390 prior to $390. It was prior to shipping, and then prior to tax, because shipping was free. So I think I paid to door $424 for what you see there, brand new in the package. Everything was new, and I liked that tan. I couldn't get that tan pattern many places. I don't think it's very popular amongst most riders. I like it because I have that tan accent to it. One other thing, the price point, the newer pilot bags, when you go online, there's a couple of nuances, a couple of straps that are a little bit different, but the new pilot bag has one side only, that has webbing. Let me turn the camera around so I can point some stuff out to you. It has molly webbing like this on one side of that pilot bag. It would be like on this like over here, and with that webbing there, one side only, you can attach one of their Tusk water bottles to it, just one, which is great. It's a great option. I think that's a great feature that they had added. That new system with the water bottle included runs about, I think, $224, I saw on Rocky Mountain ATV. But what I like about this bag is that, number one, it's designed to attach directly to the motorcycle hardware, and it has 2 pouches. The front one's a drawstring to a little bit easier access, and you put anything you want with it. I'm going to opt to carry these size water bottles. Well, I don't know, I can't think off the top of my head how many ounces, but it's the larger size water bottles. So I have one in front. I don't want to struggle with that. I have one in front, and then I have a second one in back. So this is a drawstring one. They'll talk about it on the Tusk website. And this is a roll top one, which is exactly like this design here. So when I'm traveling, when I did my solo trip into Joshua Tree, I had I had water, but not enough. So I ended up buying this water roto pack because there's no place to get water out on the campsites out in Joshua. But I didn't want to stack that, and I had the adapter to double stack it on top of my fuel tank, but that's just way too much liquid, way too high. So I opted not to carry that anymore. Instead, now I can carry 4 of these, and I'm carrying a little bit of smaller ones in the front. And then for fuel, I'll always have this, which is, I think, 1.5 gallons. And on my additional fuel, I have these Nelson rig pouches, and I use these MSR fuel bottles, like with my multi-fuel stove that I have. I use unleaded gas, so whatever I don't use at the end of my camping trip, I just dump in the tank. But that's just more added fuel that I have, and I have straps that go onto these footman loops, 1, 2, 3, 4. This part's on this side, and then I put additional ones here and here, that if I strap anything up, that means when I open up this top case like this, whatever strapped up here doesn't interfere. I would never connect this to this, because then I include the open it up with these latches. So whatever I attach from here to here, it will go over. Usually it's my motorcycle cover sits on top of here with some bungee cords, which I never had an issue with. The Nelson rig with these attach points, got attach points here. I put nylon straps on them, and they attach right there. So I got more fuel like that. If you wanted to mount it on directly to a molly, you have these straps too, which run the same way, the same functionality as the Tusk. I can't really tell you why. I think just so I could distinguish which ones had water, which ones had fuel, and maybe the price might be a little bit different. It looks like the volume and the sizing is comparable. I don't know why, or maybe I got these as a gift. I don't know. I do like them. I see nothing wrong with them. And one thing I like about them is that they have, I know why I went with them, because they have these attachment points. The Tusk doesn't. I just noticed that. So I needed to go with the Nelson rig to use these attachment points to hold the bottle this way. That's why I got these. So, oh, Corvo, this next one's for you because you asked about, well, you see how it sits on the bike now, right? It's what I have in here is just a comforter blanket to make it all filled up. So it sits pretty squared on it. You do have some reflectiveness back here. Remember, there's another bottle here. This one's empty. And if I had this all secured, strapped in, it doesn't sag. It doesn't, I mean, I can really collapse it as close as I can. It's rigid on the bottom and on the sides. It has the same similar plate on the outside as it does on the inside, which attaches to the hardware that you have to mount it on to the back. I don't know if I can get a shot of that. You really can't, but here's where my fingers are at. So there's the mounting plate there that you got to attach. And then the two bracket systems, there's one up high, there's one up low. And then, like I said, this is empty and I have a pouch here and a pouch here. So I have this set. Now, honestly, I would just tell you guys, if you're looking between the Pilot and the Olympus, go with the Olympus. You don't have to fill it. The Olympus is basically the same dimensions as the Pilot. You have more functionality as far as mounting it to take it off and on the bike quicker with the hardware. And it comes with two pouches, front and rear, that you can either put water bottles or tools in. And like I said, right now the market for the Pilot is about $224 with one water bottle. It's a great bag. And I thought, well, you know, depending on what kind of riding, I'll either put the Olympus on, the Pilot on, or if I'm in town, I might just use the ones that I built with my other water bottles. If I'm just doing something, that pouch was for water bottle. This was for my fuel down here. But the more and more I'm getting into the riding, this looks really cool. Not worth it, guys. Do not go down this road. Do not go down this road. It doesn't have near as much capacity on the inside. It costs a lot more money to attach that. Those footman loops were hard to get, and those were expensive. And there was labor behind it. So do not go down that route. I highly discourage it. I get complimented on it, but that's where that ends. So you can pay about $224 before tax on that, or jump up to about the $400 mark and get this one. I think you'll be happier with the Olympus. Like I showed you before, the interior, the main cargo capacity is the same. Each one has a dry bag. What I'll probably end up doing, now that I have 4 of these dry bags, I'll probably separate what I'm carrying so I don't take the whole dry bags out. I'll probably fill this up, and then this one will go on the bottom, and then I'll double stack it. So I'll probably use these as kind of like interior luggage now that I have 4. I may not use these again because I don't see the point in taking those off and putting these back on, just not to have the water bottle things. I mean, it's the same capacity that I explained. So I think that's all I was going to go over on the Olympus. I talked about the price. I talked about the difference on how to hook them up. Like I said, I rigged that one up you could do it if you want. If you already have Pilot ones, you can buy those brackets separately, I think through Rocky Mountain ATV or maybe Amazon. I don't know. But that's the route I'm going. And so I'll probably will never use that again. And I'll probably will never use that again. I'll double up on my yellow. I'll save those for like day trips and just keep these on there because I like the option of having areas for 2 water bottles. If I go on a longer thing and I'm concerned about fuel, that's the most fuel I'm going to carry anyways. And I don't think I will need... Oh, I forgot. I have a water bladder that is designed for travel too. It's a bladder and it sits really nice on top of this. It doesn't carry as much, but I haven't used it yet. It's somewhere in my messy garage, but I'll go over that later. If there's any questions, please do ask. I don't know what I might have left out. There's a lot of pros and cons and purposes if you're going to travel with soft or hard cases. Look into that. I think I'll put Rocky Mountain's link in there for their Olympus and their Tusk, or I'm sorry, their Olympus and their Pilot. And I think there was one more video I wanted to add, but I hope that makes it clear. The sun is hitting the back of the bike perfectly, so that looks a lot lighter and that looks a lot darker. But the goal I wanted to achieve was have that two-tone between the beige, the mix between the beige and the black. So there you have it, everybody. like, subscribe, get out there and ride. I don't know what I still got to swap out, put my street tires on, my 70/30s, take off my knobbies. I'm going over to Malcolm Smith Motorsports. I did a video, if you're anywhere in Southern California or Riverside, Malcolm Smith Motorsports has a museum on their second floor, which I did a video a long time ago. Very worth visiting that if you ever are in the area. But I'm going to head over there today. Got a lot of chores to do, got a lot of weeds to pull. I just wanted to shoot this video out on the Tusk Olympus versus the Tusk Pilot Panniers. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.